So sometimes, like the birth, marriage, and death records, they can be organized kind of confusingly. And so I'm going to go over some of the ways that they can be organized to help prevent confusion. Um, for example, this one right here, they do not have the moving in and the moving outs lined up. So what I mean by that is, so right here we have the moving in for 1827, moving out for 1827. And so the 1827, 1827, right here for the moving outside, it changes to 1828. While on the exact opposite side of the page right here, this is still moving in for 1827. And then we go to the next page, and then right here it changes to 1828. So they're not lined up. And then if we were to keep on going, it would keep on following that pattern generally. Except for like right here, this one doesn't. They waited for each other, and then they wrote them right next to each other. Sometimes they'll start them only at the top of the page. Sometimes they'll start them halfway down the page. But that is one way that they can be organized. Okay, so another way that they can be organized is like this. This one's probably one of the most easiest ones, and hopefully all of yours are like that, because these are the best, where it's moving in on this side, moving in, and moving out on this side. They're lined up, and it just goes down like that. And so these numbers right here, these are the order of which they moved in or moved out. So this person was the first person to move out of this parish in 1890. Sorry, moved in. And this person was the first person to move out of this parish in 1890 as well. And if you notice, there right here has numbers 4 through 10. And so right here, it has this guy, Carl Johansson, and then with his wife and 5 children. So sometimes they'll list just the head of household and then just label everyone else in these columns, or like this right here where they do it in words. Right here we have the males, and here we have the females. And so right here they have 4 males that are moving in and 3 females, all underneath this one name. So if you're looking for a specific person, it's often best to look for the head of household, because in situations like this, the person that you'd be looking for, the wife, isn't going to be named here. Her name is not going to show up here. Instead, she's included in this 3 right here, included in this wife thing right here. And so that's something to be aware of as well. These right here are the dates in which they moved. And so those are listed there. Right here we have pages. And every parish is different. They do them differently all the time. And most of them don't have this, but when they do, it's really nice. So this is saying the page in the household examination book. So if you were to go to page 105 in the corresponding household examination book, corresponding meaning the household examination for this parish that covers this year right here, page 105, you would find this person. You could also, oftentimes since they don't have that, you can also look in the places, the name of the farm where she moved from. I'm going to go back to this previous one and show something. So up here, this one is organized by parish. So, and we had an example of that earlier, but this is for one parish, this is for another parish, this is for another parish. And so if they moved into this parish, they have a dash mark right there. And if they moved into one of these parishes, they have it dashed in these places right here. Okay. Oh, something else that's very helpful is these moving in numbers that we talked about a second ago. So sometimes the household examinations will say exactly what number they were. So for like this guy right here, or maybe it's a girl. Well, it's a girl. So she moved out in 1890, and she right here, person number 10. That's what this is saying right here. She is the 10th person to move out. So if we go to this image right here, and we go to person 10, here it is right here. Exact same person. The page number lines up, even it all lines up. So it just makes things a lot easier. Sometimes it happens like that, sometimes it doesn't. But those can be very helpful things to know. Then we have another example of how things can be organized. So this one, it has 3 different parishes in this same book. And this one right here, this parish are on these pages, 2 to 107. This one is on these pages, these ones are these pages. So if you're looking for someone, make sure that you look in the right page range. You don't need to look, if you're looking for someone in Vistorp, you don't need to be looking for them in these pages and these pages, at least unless you don't find them in these pages right here. And also, you should just know that they're separate in the same book. That's good to know. Here's another example of how moving records can be organized. And this one is where they did all of the years, all the parishes next to each other for the same year. So, for example, here's moving in for this parish right here with an O-R-S, etc., 1827. So when we go one page over, we've got 1827, but we've got a different parish. 1827, different parish. And sometimes the parishes will have so many movings that there'll be several pages. This case, they're just one page each. And then let's go to the next page, and here we go, 1827. And then once all of the parishes are covered, then it starts over with that original parish, and it goes to 1828. And then it continues like that from page to page, 1828, with those different parishes. So if you're looking at the top right here, every time you change the page, you'll save a lot of time and not waste looking through this right here, when in reality you just need to be looking through this right here. So that's also helpful. So in the previous examples, they had the left side of the page and the right side of the page being different people. This one, it carries over. So this person right here, their information goes all the way across this entire 2 pages. The other ones, they just stopped at the halfway point, and then there was a new person on this other side right here. And the way you can tell is you look at the headings right here, and if this is the exact same as this heading right here, then it's a repeat. In this case, it's different stuff at the top right here. And so we know that this person is going to be covered for this entire whole thing right here. And that same thing can happen with household examination records as well, where they can have people on just the left side and just the right side, or on both sides covering both the places. So let's go over some of this terminology for these kind of records. So here is the number, the moving in number that they are. It's like incoming number basically. And then this is the day that they moved in. Year, month, and day. And their name. So this is where their name is listed. And right here, födelse, that is birth. So their birthplace, their birth year, their birth month and day. And sometimes they'll have things in the baptism section, sometimes not. Sometimes don't have that section. Here's some other things. Some are important, some are not as helpful. We have our whether they're a man or lady, and different things. Quick comment: when the moving records reach around 1900, then they keep them, so far as I've seen, in separate books, the moving ins and the moving outs. So all of the moving ins for a parish will be in one book, all of the moving outs will be in another book. Sometimes they'll, like with this book right here, they'll have just the moving ins, and then the second half of the book will be the moving outs, or any sort of combination. But typically towards around 1900, they started to do them in two separate books. So here I have an assignment to do to practice what you've learned with the moving records. And so what you're going to do is, first thing you're going to do is find this image right here, the one that has her in it. Information is right here in order to find it. And then you're going to find where she moved from. And so that will take a a moving record. And from the parish that she's in, this one right here, Hassel, there aren't moving records. They got destroyed or something for that year. So in this case, you can skip that and you can go right to the parish that she's moving from those records. And as a hint, here is the image of where she is moving from. So this is the older spelling of it. And so when you're searching for the previous parish, ignore this H right here, and it will save you a lot of headache. And it's in the same county as Hassel is. And then also, you will know that you have succeeded when you see this right here. This is what the image looks like in the previous household examination. See here she is right here, and the birth date matches up exactly like this. So when you find this image right here, you know you've succeeded. So good luck.